Hello and welcome to my review of Split Second from 1992, starring the great Rutger Hauer, also starring Kim Cattrall and Neil Duncan. This movie is set in London, and because of global warming, it has been flooded. Of course, back in 1992, they assumed that within just a few years that would happen. And here it's been 30 years later, and London's still not flooded. However, it does make for some interesting scenes of driving around London in their vehicles. It gives London a totally different atmosphere because of the heavy flooding. And most importantly, it allows areas for the monster to hide. Because yes, this is a monster movie. And I would say Rutger put in an excellent performance. The gritty, rundown nature of the future is well reflected in his personality. He has a connection with the monster who had previously killed his partner. And somehow he can now sense the presence of the monster and when it attacks. The monster is extremely powerful, possibly alien, and extremely fast. Rutger is working with a buddy cop type premise here. He gets saddled with a young, by-the-book partner. And this was 30 years ago, so the premise wasn't worn out by then. The movie moves along at a nice pace. Critics at the time did not like the movie. It made $5.5 million back on a $7 million budget. But I think it's well worth a watch. It's really fun to see Rutger chewing through his lines, and seeing him in his prime is excellent, especially if it's one you perhaps have missed. Kim Cattrall puts in a good performance in this as well. I think she plays well with Rutger in their scenes together. The monster becomes fixated on her and stalks her, and her fear seems real. It's good acting. And Rutger seems to actually care for her. So, it makes for a good story. But one of the primary things about this movie is the clubs and locations that it's set in this future London that's flooded and filled with monsters. British police seem to have certainly forgotten about their phobia of guns, because he has quite a selection of some pretty nice firearms, which I definitely appreciate. The movie has humor, action, romance, everything you might want, including some gore. So I'm going to give it 4 monster claws up out of 5. And I think you will enjoy the movie if you like monster movies and good acting. Thank you for your kind attention.